requirements for the VFW essay, and you're going to write a 400 to 600 word essay answering the prompt, is today's America what our founding fathers envisioned? So you've already written an opening paragraph that gives the reader a hook to draw them in and your thesis statement, right? So you already know what direction your essay is going in. Your thesis statement, so let me bring up a document here to show you.
How many words is that?
Where's what at?
Wait, so this is like due Tuesday, right? Like this 400, 600?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my days. Oh my days.
Okay.
Wait, 400, 600 paragraph?
on Friday.
The whole essay?
All right, so let's look at the requirements again that you all can look at, because these are posted on Google Classroom. So you don't have to memorize these right now. Okay, this is on Google Classroom. It says write a 400 to 600 word essay. Now I'm going to show you how to see what your word count is in case you don't know. So in Google, let me bring up, here's something that I'm working on. So what you do is you go to Tools and then Word Count. And it pops up and it tells you how many words there are. Okay, so this is 320 words. All right, so that's how you do that. What I was going to say was, let's look at our thesis statement and how that is you're going to use that to write the rest of your essay, okay? The reason why thesis statements are so important is because it's kind of like a roadmap for the rest of what you're writing. So if you'll remember, our thesis statement had a claim and then your 3 reasons why. All right, what I'm gonna do is, let's say, I'm gonna be outlandish with this. Let's say, America is what our founding fathers envisioned, because if you don't know how to start your thesis statement, you can copy these exact words and then you can give 3 reasons why. Or you could say, focus here, focus. I know y'all just got finished sitting for 45 minutes, 50 minutes, but focus. This is going to be important. If you don't catch this, it's going to be a lot more difficult for you to write your essay, okay? You could say America is not what our founding fathers envisioned, and then because. So I'm going to say this. America is what our founding fathers envisioned because we have an abundance of cats. We have Starbucks on every corner. And we have guns.
And cheese.
And cheese. I should put that.
And
All right. So let's look at, I have my claim, but I have my 3 reasons why. Okay. I say abundance of cats. That's one reason. Starbucks on every corner. That's another reason. And then guns. That's the 3rd reason. Okay. Now, what am I going to write about in these paragraphs after that? I know every essay, listen, every essay has an intro paragraph, which you've already written, and a conclusion, which is to come. But what happens in the middle?
You're going to write about the 3
I'm going to write about the 3 things, and I'm only going to take 1 topic per paragraph, or I may even write 2 paragraphs per topic, okay? Don't mix these reasons why into 1 paragraph. Don't talk about guns and cats in 1 paragraph, okay? Talk about cats in 1 paragraph. So I might say my paragraph 1 is about how the founding fathers loved cats.
What about dogs?
And dogs. And then my paragraph 2 might be about how America has a lot of cats. Now, of course, we know that these are kind of silly examples, but I want you to pretend like you were actually trying to write these paragraphs on cats. I want you to pretend like you were writing these paragraphs on cats. What are some of the things that you might type into Google to get information about founding fathers loving cats? What might you type into Google?
Did the founding fathers love cats?
Great. Okay, what's something else that you could type in?
What pets did the founding fathers have?
Right, great. What pets? Now, what about America having a lot of cats? What would you type into Google to get more information? And what kind of information do you think you'd find? Okay, we could type in cats in America. We might want to include how many cats there are, the different types of cats, what cat owners are like, right? We don't want to just make this essay all full of statistics. We want it to be personable. So does anybody in here have a cat?
My sister does.
Great. So you might then take a second to say, just like the founding fathers had their favorite cats, I personally have a cat named Ping Pong, and he is the apple of my eye. He loves to curl up in my lap, and I just love him. Okay? So in this essay, you can put personal things in. Did everybody? I'm getting a little distracted by the back row. Are we following along what's going on? Okay. So we want to bring a little bit of our personality into this essay. Okay. I still don't want you to say, I think and I believe. Don't use those phrases. I cannot stand them. But you can say, instead of saying I think and I believe, just say it. Okay. Instead of saying I think founding fathers would like this, say the founding fathers would like this. Okay. That makes sense? All right. So that would be paragraph 1 and 2. And then maybe paragraph 3 and 4 would be about Starbucks and about how could I connect Starbucks to our founding fathers? Let's just do brainstorming here.
Dinosaurs would like Starbucks.
Take both.
How we could research if our founding fathers liked coffee. And maybe we could talk about how they dumped tea, right, in the Boston Tea Party. And so they were big coffee drinkers instead of tea. I don't know if that's true. I'm just throwing some stuff out there. And then guns. We could talk about the amendment that allows us to have guns and why our forefathers put that in there. Give some history, but then also bring it into today. Okay, so we want to make it personable to where people want to hear this. This is not a report. This is not a history report. This is comparing what our founding fathers wanted to today and adding in a little flavor along the way. Now, what is our very last paragraph that we will put in there called?
Gun.
No, the very, very last one.
Conclusion.
Conclusion, closing, either way. Okay. Great. So we need a paragraph at the end. That is where you're allowed to wrap it up. It is almost just like your intro paragraph with one exception, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so we have got out, let me go back to our requirements, 400 to 600 words, well-researched, appeal to emotion. Let me show the rubric that I'll be using to grade. Okay, length, that's going to be important. A hook, which you all have already written your opening paragraphs with hooks. I'm going to be looking at these while you're watching a video on essay writing. Evidence and anecdotes. What is an anecdote?
No idea.
Saying.
Close.
Quote.
No. A personal story. Anecdote's a personal story. Content, originality, overall impact. We want it to be emotional. We want people to actually care about what you're writing, okay? So that is that. You are going to turn in the first draft. Let me say this very clearly. When you think of the word first draft, what do you think a draft is? A first
A
draft.
pig.
Okay.
Oh, well,
He thinks of football. That's fine.
like,
That's fine. What is, okay, never mind. What is round 1 draft?
Like a prototype.
The most.
The most best?
Yeah.
And then you get down to the most not bestest, but it's still good. Okay. So this is kind of the opposite, though, of that, if you want to think of football terms. Okay. Our first draft is going to be probably the worst. But hear this, a first draft still has all the requirements in it. It just may need polished. Let's talk about what it means to polish. If somebody says, I will polish your shoes, I know we don't do that anymore, but what is like polishing shoes? What does that mean?
Clue.
Okay, clean them, make them shiny, right? It's still the same shoe, right? You're not going out and replacing the shoe. So when you're gonna polish your essay, you're keeping your essay pretty much as is, but you're making it even better. You're not going out and writing a new one. So this first draft is going to be close to what you turn in. Don't just say, oh, well, it's just a draft. No, I'm grading it almost as harshly as I will the final draft. Okay? Great. I hope this is scaring you. It should.
Yay.
What?
Eating.
This is a test grade. Did I mention that?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Good. Just want to make sure. All right. Now, how many of you have written more than 5 essays in your life? A handful. Okay. So since many of you are fairly new at writing essays, we're going to watch this video on essay writing, okay, while I look at some of your opening paragraphs. And I'm going to actually talk with some of you if you need any help on your opening paragraphs. All right. Okay, I'm piecing out on the YouTubes.